respond.
Do you just have to keep on going out there and keep on trying to execute, get in a rhythm on offense, fly around the football on defense, and not let Lynnwood march down the field and get ahead early? You just said kind of the surprise. Traditionally, these two records are flipped, and Edmonds Woodway being at that spot and Lynnwood being as high as they are in Wesco are probably the two biggest surprises of the year thus far. Head coach
Keontae Bankhead for Lynnwood has to be pleased what has developed this season for his Lynnwood Royals. 3-1 and have control over their own destiny as far as getting into the playoffs. And they can do so and really give themselves a vault if they were to beat the Warriors tonight. Edmonds Woodway, really everything from here on out is a must-win game for E-Dub. And we'll get things started here. And there is the Brendan Davis kick deep, taken in about the 15-yard line, gathered in, and there will be a slight return and then brought back 10, 15 yards before being hauled to the turf. Justin Cachopo, the quarterback for the Lynnwood Royals, having an outstanding season. We've certainly seen the development in that young man.
Last year it was kind of iffy if he could even throw a quick slant or even a hitch 10 yards downfield. This year, though, through the strength and conditioning program at Lynnwood, was able to build himself up, get that shoulder strong and rotator cuff so he could throw it downfield, and he's showing excellent leadership on the offensive side of the football, being quarterback.
One play in, or not even a play from scrimmage, and we already have an injured Royal down on the field. And I did not get the jersey number of the young man. They've taken his helmet off, and now the trainers and coaches are going to go out and take a look to see if they can't get a little more out of the player that is down. Keith Neely, Stephen McGrain alongside on the Sound Live Sports Network, the first of two games in tonight's doubleheader. At the 8 o'clock game, we will have the homecoming for the Meadowdale Mavericks as they host the Shorewood Thunderbirds. In the nightcap, we hope you'll stick around. Steve Willits, as always, with the call in that ball game. And we are getting set now to get the first play underway here from the turf at Edmonds District Stadium between the Royals and Edmonds Woodway. They were the Warriors. Three wide receivers, two in the backfield, and we've got a snap, hard count, and immediately Tanner Caraco jumps on that left-hand side, or that right-hand side of the line on the defense.
Just a little excited to maybe hit pads, but even if it's the first play of the game all the way down to last, got to stay disciplined. And as a defensive tackle, the football is right in front of you. You don't need to listen to the quarterback do the hard count to try to draw you off sides. Just look straight ahead, and he didn't do that at all.
So 1st down and 10 becomes 1st down and 5, and we haven't even snapped the ball yet. Beautiful evening. Light jacket weather here at Edmonds District Stadium, and there's number 3, Andrew Katzenberger. You hear a lot from that young man. Started the ball game last week, played the first quarter at running back, and then left what we thought was an injury and did not come back on offense the rest of the game, was instrumental in the win on defense.
Well, Katzenberger and usually Alton Hammond is his backup, and he's the one who got hurt on that opening kickoff. So if they give it to Katzenberger a lot and don't spread the football out early with the passing game, it'll be interesting to see who they bring in as his backup.
Katzenberger once again goes around the left end, gets near the 1st down. I think he has it. And it is indeed a 1st down. The Royals got the drive moving now.
Katzenberger's 6'2", 220, and if you don't tackle him low and get him down early, he's strong enough to continually drive his feet. So you need a lot of Warriors to get around him, or if you are the only one as the last line of defense, tackle him low and make sure you take his feet out from under him.
And Mikhail Kirkman also doing a lot of running back and fullback duties, 5'11", 235. He's also in the backfield, so those two men pack a lot of wallop. And there is Mike Kirkman, the sophomore, younger brother of Mikhail. And Kirkman over about 5 yards into the pile.
Early on, that offensive line for Lynnwood has done a nice job of doing a combo block on the defensive tackle or even the defensive end on the outside, and then working up to the second level linebacker, making some holes for Katzenberger and Kirkman early on in this football game.
2nd down and 2. So on 1st down, 7-yard average now, 8-yard average for the Royals. That one, another run. So far have yet to throw the football. Tyler Reinford on the stop out of the linebacking core for the Warriors. And we've certainly called his name a lot this season.
An excellent tackle. You went up against the bigger Kirk Katzenberger, and Tyler Reinford isn't small. He's 6'1", a $185 junior out at the outside linebacker position, but took out his hip, tackled him low, and brought him down for just a 2-yard pickup.
A week ago, Edmonds Woodway defense gave up an 8-minute and 8-second drive in the opening drive against the Terrace matchup. There's a 1st down and another run play. So if Lynnwood is scouted at all, they probably realize the grind-out, smash-mouth style of football can be effective against this Warrior defense.
Yeah, and they've done a couple of misdirection things, and thus far in this drive, it's just mainly been paper cuts, Keith. They're little things, but it just hurts your defense as they're continually marching down the field and picking up 1st downs.
And it keeps the defense out on the field, and when the game gets long, sometimes those things can really hurt you. There's a little swing out past the little bubble screen and drop for a loss on the play. And Nick Venema got there first and helped out also by Spencer Schultz out of the linebacking core there for the Warriors. And a loss of 1 brings up 2nd and 11.
He was out. He usually plays free safety, but he came out to cover the slot, and the outside receiver for Lynnwood did a great job of blocking his corner, but nobody was able to get out to Nick Venema. He flew up with explosiveness and made the tackle for a loss.
2nd down and 11. There's the handoff to Kirkman. Tries to cut back. Misdirection is not fooling anybody in mean green. E-Dub with another tackle for loss.
With either a big running back or a small running back who's more quicker and shifty, you got to be able to keep him inside of a phone booth. Get a lot of guys around him so he doesn't have very much space to move around. Warriors did that exact thing right there. Nick Venema flew up on the outside, kept him in, and right when he tried to turn inside to go back towards the opposite side of the field, Tyler Reinford was there to bring him down for a tackle. So nice job of keeping him corralled.
Venema flying around like his hat's on backwards. Making plays, 2 in a row there. Back to pass is Cachopo under some pressure. Has a man open along the sideline. Caught at the 30 and hauled in. Over the top it goes. 1st down, Lynnwood. Eric Vo on the reception.
And that just shows the progression and maturity and how much stronger Justin Cachopo has gotten from last year to this year. He may not have been able to necessarily throw that pass all the way downfield, but a great pass and a great catch, too, keeping his hands up and getting the football away from his body.
Isaac Jackson on the far side, the cornerback in coverage. Saw the first pump fake and bid a little bit. Now a little run over the right-hand side. Back to the running game go the Royals. Pick up a 2.
And as long as they can continually keep running the football downfield against the Warriors, it's going to open up that passing game, especially with all that misdirection in the backfield. Go with the play action and try to get a strike downfield, much like they just did with the previous play. But look for Richard Truong, the outside receiver, near side, downfield if they try to pull a play action or if they don't run the ball.
And they will run the ball straight ahead, pick up another 2 yards. Kirkman with the carry. Lynnwood a lot like Edmonds Woodway in the fact they run a lot of ball carriers at you. Just as soon as you get settled into seeing Katzenberger come at you or go around you with the speed he has, they'll throw one of the Kirkman brothers also in there and power it straight ahead. Back to pass is Cachopo. Had somebody cruising right into the backfield. A lot of pressure back there being applied by Tyler Reinford. And the pass well on its way to incomplete. Lucky it's not picked up.
Even though that was 3rd and 5 and it went into an incompletion, he's lucky he didn't hold on to that football for about a second later because, as you said, Reinford was coming around the backside, could have easily swiped and hit his elbow, gotten the ball to jar loose out from his hand, could have ended up in a fumble on Edmonds Woodway's football. But at 4th and 5, now they have an opportunity to move the sticks once more.
First time things come down to Me versus you here on the football field. 4th down and 5. You got to take care of your own business. Rolling out penalty flags. Cachopo has a man open, caught at the 10-yard line, and down to the 5. Trong with the catch. Good job of getting up in the air. A Red Onion Burger player of the game a week ago, because on defense picked off 2 passes. Shows what he can do on the offensive side of the ball.
Just a nice, simple, small little sprint out to the right side for Cachopo. Like you said, nice job by Truong to elevate and catch the football at its highest point.
It will be negated, however, after the false start, or the illegal motion, rather, on the side of the Lynnwood Royals. So an opportunity to get inside the red zone and put some pressure early on this Edmonds Woodway Warrior defense is erased due to another mistake. So now we've got a 4th down and 10 yards to go with the ball placed on the 27-yard line. And we'll see what Cachopo can do if he can find another receiver. He certainly had Trong open enough that a similar play right there, or right here, would certainly give you the 1st down.
Look for him to maybe even just turn around and hit it off to Katzenberger and see what he can do, or sprint out to the near side and try to find Lawton Manpon downfield.
3-4 defense. Edmonds Woodway will put some pressure on and into the backfield. Fumble on the ground, and it was recovered. Tyler Reinford, the first one to get to the football and get to the quarterback. And it was Ali Gay that fell on the fumble and got the recovery for E-Dub in the first big play of the afternoon for the Warriors.
Well, the last 3 times Lynnwood tried running a pass play, a sprint out to the near side of the field, that outside linebacker, Tyler Reinford, has been untouched, so you have to have known that he was going to get to the quarterback at some point. That time he got just in time before Cachopo was going to let the ball loose, was able to strip it, and then Warriors recover it. Now let's see if they can put a drive together with Nick Morales running out there on the field.
Morales has had some great success. He's also had some tough spots. And we'll see what kind of moxie the kid has after coming off 2 back-to-back very tough losses. What he does under center. And the handoff will go to Chance Justice. Justice getting the majority of the carries for the Warriors rather. A quick shifty back. Not a big guy. 5'8", 135 pounds. Tries to outmove you rather than outmuscle you.
They got Chance Justice, and then also his backup, who'll probably get him kind of the same amount of carries as Nick Venema, who's a 5'11", 190-pound senior. So that 1-2 punch for the Warriors has to get something going early if this offense wants to get a rhythm.
Morales turns around and looks into the backfield. That's Venema and Justice. Play action fake to Justice now. Rolls out to his right. Looks downfield, has a man wide open. I don't think Morales saw Nash. About the 50-yard line. Nash not a big guy. Had Nash turned and ran, I think you'd have seen a score at that point. And a pick up a 3 on the carry off the bootleg.
Well, Nash is a 5'4", 135-pound sophomore out there at receiver. So out there amongst those trees, typically that's a basketball reference, but in this football game, that's going to pertain pretty well to that situation out there. Now he lines up in the slot on the near side.
Gradwell on the near side as the receiver. You've got Nash in the slot. And behind Morales, Venema, and Justice. Here's the swing out pass. Justice will get it. Picks it up about 2 yards into the 40-yard line. Penalty flag is down in the backfield of Edmonds Woodway. And the defense for the Royals, certainly aware of the run. Protecting nicely.
When you talked about in the opening, as there's a holding call on Edmonds Woodway on that previous play, how Edmonds Woodway has kind of started out slow this season thus far, 1-3, Lynnwood 3-1. It's homecoming week. Typically you kind of schedule a team that kind of an easy win, that kind of get a good feeling going into the weekend and the dance tomorrow night. But Lynnwood's a completely different team this year. Their defense is flying around, as they just displayed right there, getting a quick 3 and out for Edmonds Woodway. They fly around those linebackers, Katzenberger, Kirkman, Jugman. So this is an entirely different team. It's going to be a tough out for Woodway if they can pick up this victory.
Punt, a nice one, gets down near the 20-yard line. I believe it'll go out of bounds at the 22-yard line. And that is where Lynnwood will start their second drive of the ball game. So a fumble on their first drive. And then a punt by Edmonds Woodway. So it could be a battle of field position if neither team is going to be marching the ball downfield. We'll see how long the stalemate continues.
And which team can capitalize. We just saw Lynnwood in their opening drive of the game march all the way downfield before getting stripped and losing the football on a 4th down. And Keith, we may not have another offsides on. Oh, false start.
The second false start on the Royals. Last one very costly. Eliminated a 1st and goal opportunity. And now backs up Cachopo another 5 yards. So 1st down and 15, ball on the 18-yard line. And we've got a timeout on the field. And we will take one ourselves here on the Sound Live Sports Network. 5:16 to play, first quarter, no score.
Are you a whiz in filmmaking? Do you want to become extraordinary in filmmaking? Then come to Shoreline Community College and work with Shoreline Productions, where you will learn to transform your work in teams of working professionals and students to create enchanting effects such as green screen, text animation, and so much more. So come to Shoreline Community College, where you can mystify and dazzle in filmmaking.
Edmonds Woodway homecoming here at Edmonds District Stadium. 8 minutes in the book so far, first quarter. As Justin Cachopo puts a man in motion, that's Kirkman. Actually, that's Katzenberger in motion, and Cachopo now gets popped, and it is caught at the 30-yard line. And along the sideline, not a single Edmonds Woodway Warrior knew who had the football. Katzenberger past the 10, 5, touchdown Lynnwood. Cachopo paid the price.
Simple sprint out to the left side of the field for Cachopo. Got nailed by number 44 of Edmonds Woodway, Spencer Schultz, but he got the football out. Great athletic catch by Andrew Katzenberger. Right after that, he took it all the way down the field by himself, and no Warrior could catch him. A big play coming out of that timeout.
One play, and it goes 68 yards for the score. Katzenberger up the far sideline. Big, big play for the Royals. And they get things started with a W in their first 2 games. And now looking to see if they can't go to 4-1. Of course, very, very, very early in the ball game. Edmonds Woodway has come roaring back in every game that they've been down so far, and that extra point is no good. 6-0. Royals take the lead with 4:59 to go first quarter. We'll take a break with the Royals on top, 6-0. Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com. Welcome back on the Sound Live Sports Network, presented by Shoreline Community College. One play, 68 yards. Cachopo to Katzenberger for the first score of the ball game with 4:59 remaining. Coach Bankhead and the Royals have got to feel good.
They do. Typically, they're a team that just kind of grinds it out all the way downfield, but they showed their versatility with that pass play and Katzenberger running away. Edmonds Woodway needs to not fall back quickly in this football game. As we mentioned it, Katzenberger and Kirkman and Hammond back there like to run the football and just waste the clock.
Ball taken in by Nash at the 15-yard line. Cuts back along the 20. He'll bust it along the outside. Gets by a man to the 30-yard line. A 15-yard return for Nash, the speedster. And that is where Morales will start the Warriors on their second drive of the ball game. Pretty much exactly where they started the first one. First one, a result of a fumble, put the ball on the 30-yard line, but the Warriors unable to capitalize on the running game, at least early.
Well, sometimes the biggest thing early on in the game is just picking up that first down, and then everybody else settles down, pressure is gone. So let's see if the Warriors can just not do anything but get a 3 and out and pick up the first and move the chains.
Morales under center now, spins, hands off to Venema. Venema right into a pile, led by Joshua Morales, a junior, 5'11", 295. A couple of big bodies down in there for the Royals. Will Eddington also there, 5'10", 195.
They're not given many one-on-one opportunities with the running back to a defender for the Royals. A lot of guys flying to the football and tackling them all at once. 3-4 defenders wrapping up and bringing them down. Great job of flying around and being a real team effort on defense thus far.
Katzenberger, the only linebacker. Now they'll back him up. They had everybody stacked at the line. Here's a pass to Nash across the first down marker. A little lean of the shoulders will gain him an extra 2, and it's first down Warriors at the 42-yard line. Great pickup.
Nice, simple pass play with Nash out there on the far side slot. Just doing a hitch, getting a little loose, getting the arm warmed up once again for Nick Morales. Picked up a first down and going to continually, hopefully, move the chains.
Morales able to get between those linebackers who had to backpedal extra 2 steps after they charged the line, put almost everybody in the box in that last play. Here is Justice, has a lot of room to run, gets past the 50 down to the 45-yard line. Penalty flag flies. More laundry on the field, and it will be a first down pending the investigation here. And the flag thrown toward the EW backfield. And they will wave it off. No flag. So it will be a first down after the Justice 11-yard pickup.
Great last 2 plays by Edmonds Woodway. Picked up about 22 yards on the last 2. First one was the pass play to Nash. That last one, the run right up the middle with Justice. So keep on picking up big chunks and hopefully progressing downfield and capitalize on this opportunity.
3:38 to go, first quarter. Morales has twins to the near side, 2 in the backfield in the eye. And has a first down, has a couple. Now the little swing out pass intended for Justice, and you're going to have to pick it up. They say incomplete. Good job by Justice to keep pursuit, because you don't know if that's going to get ruled as a lateral.
Well, and Keith, we have a perfect angle up here in the booth, and it looked like it did get thrown backwards, so the refs just might have been quick to blow the whistle, but Justice continually went on with that play and just settle down and go on with the 2nd and 10.
And had he caught it, I think he'd have been in danger land anyway. Yeah. The Royals were swarming.
We had a Royal, the corner coming in from the outside in, and then he had a defender, the defensive end, who read it perfectly coming away from the line of scrimmage, so he would have been bottled up pretty quick.
And they say first down. The down will be replayed. And I did not catch the...
I didn't see a penalty out there.
No, I didn't either. So maybe they had ruled the whistle had blown before the snap of the ball. Here's Justice, who starts left, goes right back to the middle of the pile, picks up 2 yards down to the 45 of Lynnwood. And that'll bring up 2nd down and 8.
Great job by number 73, defensive tackle Will Eddington of Lynnwood, 5'10", 195 pounds. Kind of a smaller defensive tackle out there, but staying low against that left guard of Edmonds Woodway and driving him back and then wrapping up the runner right across the line of scrimmage for just a 2-yard gain.
Big Joe McKay also in on the stop, who goes off at the next play. Now on the sideline, one of the captains of this Royals football squad. McKay had a great game a week ago. One of those player of the game candidates. Here's the rollout under some pressure. Morales is going to have to get rid of it, and finally does. Bradwell came back to the ball right past the first down marker and drops the football. Had to go down to his knees to get it. But Josh Gradwell has been one of those very steady receivers for E-Dub. That is not a ball he drops very often.
No, and Nick Morales got popped right there by the outside linebacker, and he's hurting a little bit. But nice job of trying to just stay within the pocket, continue with the progression of the play. Just a little slow developing on the backside. Linebacker Lucas Jugman was bearing down on him until finally at the last second, Venema saw him and tried to get a last-second pass off for his quarterback. But you got to keep Morales comfortable, and you can't let him get hit like that.
After the drop pass, 3rd down and 8. Morales, similar circumstances now. The screen pass left it short for Venema. And it did not develop at all. Morales got maybe 2 steps back behind the screen, into the screen. And usually you want to let that develop another second or two. No chance there. Kirkman in the backfield, Katzenberger in the backfield, and Hammond.
Well, the best thing you can do on a screen or any pass if you're a defender is jump up and try to get in the quarterback's face or target his passing arm so he can't follow through all the way. That's what Alton Hammond did. He got him right on that right elbow, and that's why the ball went straight into the turf for Morales.
Ball on an excellent punt inside the 20 down to the 7-yard line of Lynnwood. So 2 straight punts for Edmonds Woodway, although the second drive certainly looked a lot better than the first.
Well, they had that 12-yard completion to Nash on the far side of the field and just a simple hitch route, and then they had Justice straight up the middle, which got them another 11 yards for a first down. But then they stalled right after that, just 2 pass plays and a lot of pressure, and great job of flying around the football for the Royals.
And a catchable football. You catch that,
yeah.
the drive still continues. 2 minutes and 11 seconds now to go here first quarter. Lynnwood with the leather will start on their own 8-yard line. Here's the handoff. It goes to Katzenberger. Picks up perhaps 4 yards. Now they're going to mark it back about the 9, I believe.
Try to run that between the left guard and the center on the Royals offensive line. And right when Katzenberger hit the line of scrimmage and tried to go through that hole, about 3 Warriors were waiting for him. That's the reason why he only picked up 1 yard. And if they can continually do so throughout this entire football game, they'll have a great success against that running game.
They give Katzenberger a yard. Second down and 9 with 1:28 to go. Cachopo in the shotgun. A little bubble screen caught. And an athletic catch at that. Bobby Graham with the reception. Gets near the first down marker after the catch. He was able to pick up, I think, 2 more yards.
We have another penalty, Keith, at about the 11-yard line.
And they're asking the captains for Edmonds Woodway what they'd like to do. So this is probably going to go against the Royals, and it does, in illegal formation. And that's the 3rd time in as many drives that they've been flagged for really pretty simple stuff.
And that's the only time that they're being backed up by the Warrior defense, is if they commit an undisciplined play and get backed up. They're able to run the football, and just on that pass play, 44, Jungman was able to get outside because that corner for Edmonds Woodway didn't fly up and try to make a tackle. So Lynnwood's kind of having their way. They're just hurting themselves with these penalties.
The clock continues to spin now near a minute right now, and it is 2nd and 13. So neither team has really come out here and look like they're a whole pile of put-together offense. And here is Cachopo under some real pressure, dropped to the turf in the backfield, and he's lucky it wasn't a safety. Michael Swires got in there. He was not the only man in green, however, to put pressure on Cachopo. About a yard deep in the end zone. Had to just turn upfield and make something to get out.
Well, both the defensive ends for Edmonds Woodway rushed upfield, having Cachopo had to step up into the pocket and continue to look downfield until ultimately Swires brought him down for the sack. But he's also lucky because he didn't see him come up from behind, that he didn't let go of that football and put it on the turf.
Final play of the quarter, and the hard count attempt here with 7 seconds now on the clock. Bubble screen out to the right, and that is stop and a drop. I believe that's Venema. Nick Venema, the defensive back on the left-hand side for the Warriors. Stalls the drive, 4th down, but that's the end of the quarter. 1 in the books. Lynnwood on top of Edmonds Woodway, 6-0 as the first quarter comes to a close. You're watching the Sound Live Sports Network presented by Shoreline Community College. We'll be right back.
People assume quality car insurance has to cost more. People assume too much. The truth is, drivers who switched to Allstate last year saved money and got better protection. So get the facts, because you know what they say about people who assume. They pay more for car insurance than you and me.
To see how much you can save on car insurance and much more, call Jeff Smar. Jeff's office serves many areas including Lynnwood, Edmonds, Bothell, and Mountlake Terrace. He can be reached at 425-949-7103 or jeffsmar@allstate.com.
Edmonds Woodway will get the ball back. After a 4th down situation will force Lynnwood to punt deep in their own territory. The ball on the 3-yard line will back the punter up near his own end line. And Cachopo, I believe, doing the punting. No, that's Carson Horner, the punter, and Nash sitting about the Lynnwood 40-yard line in anticipation of the return here.
Warriors should get great field position.
There's the punt. Nice high beauty taken in at the 45, and Nash has to retreat all the way to the 50, picks up 1 block. Now to the 40. Big block ahead of him allows him to get to the 30-yard line where he's finally dropped down. Someone put a hop and a spot. I think that was Tyler Reinford coming back in coverage.
One of the most fun things on a punt is to be able to turn around and try to get a block on somebody, block them clean in the way that you're supposed to, but deplete them and knock them on their back. And that's exactly what Tyler Reinford did, springing his little kick returner a couple more yards downfield, and Warriors start at great field position on the 26.
Lynnwood 26, Morales under center, has Reinford in the backfield along with Chance Justice. Justice with the ball, able to break it outside, picks up a block, still on his feet to the 10-yard line, touchdown! Chance Justice, 1 play, 26 yards, TD.
Justice with a little pep in his step going between that left tackle and left guard of that offensive line, getting untouched going through, bouncing it to the outside, the far side of the field, and then having enough acceleration to sprint away from all of the defenders, and the Warriors put 6 up on the board.
And I don't think field position necessarily mattered at that point in time, because by the time Justice got to the 5,
did he step out, Keith?
He'd have got the rest of the way. They may have measured him out of bounds. He did. 1st down and 4. They say he went out at the 4-yard line. So we will roll things back. It will not be 26 yards. However, Justice will pick up 22. And now here's the pitch. Justice gives it right back, and this time into the end zone. The senior with the score, responsible for all 26 yards, but he's credited with a 5-yard TD dash.
Great job by that right tackle. The Warriors just turning the defensive end upfield where he wants to go, leaving a wide open hole towards the right side. Number 27, Tyler Reinford, did a nice block on the middle linebacker, and it sprung his runner free for a touchdown as he dives into the end zone.
Rima Fatty on for Edmonds Woodway to attempt the PAT as the band gets a cooking off to our right here. And they're loving what their Warriors have brought them so far here in this second quarter. Fatty's kick is up. A penalty flag is down. The PAT was signaled through the uprights, but we'll have to sort out what the laundry on the field means. Thanks everybody at Red Onion Burger for watching on the big screen tonight. I'd like to remind you that Red Onion Game Special. Find a server. Sirloin, baked potato, salad, all for $9.97 You get the spud with it. I don't know what you get on your spud, Steven. But I imagine they got all sorts of good stuff there.
I don't care if you had a good week or a bad week, Keith. That sounds fantastic.
So the PAT is good. On the board, 7 points for the Edmonds Woodway Warriors. They take a 1-point lead over the Royals of Lynnwood with 11:31 to go here in the second quarter. We'll be back on the Sound Live Sports Network.
Are you a whiz in filmmaking? Do you want to become extraordinary in filmmaking? Then come to Shoreline Community College and work with Shoreline Productions, where you will learn to transform your work in teams of working professionals and students to create enchanting effects such as green screen, text animation, and so much more. So come to Shoreline Community College, where you can mystify and dazzle in filmmaking.
Welcome back on the Sound Live Sports Network. The Royals set to receive here. Down a point as Edmonds Woodway gets some great field position on their last drive and capitalize. Here's the Davis kick. And it is into the end zone, touchback. So 1st and 10 at the 20. Lynnwood will try to get another sustained drive, and I firmly believe, Stephen, they've shown everything that you would want from a football team so far as getting those sustained drive, except one. And those penalties are really hurting them.
But yeah, look for the Warriors right here to continually try to swarm the football, if it's Katzenberger who has it or Kirkman. And also, Justin Cachopo hasn't necessarily shown us everything that he can do with his arm. He's only had that one pass to the far side of the field that got him down to about the 16-yard line. So let's see if they open up the playbook a little bit for their quarterback.
Shotgun now rolling out as Cachopo looking downfield. Caught in a beauty at the 33-yard line. That's strong. I'll pick up with 12 yards and a first down, and that's a good way to get things started.
Well, that's the second athletic catch that Richard Truong has had. The first one was negated because of the penalty, and that time, nice job to just stay patient for Justin Cachopo, find his receiver on the far side of the field on the hitch, and throw it up to only, if he catches it, great, you pick up a first down, but if he doesn't, it goes out of bounds, and you live to play another down.
First down and 10 on the 35. They put a man in motion. That's Katzenberger. And now straight ahead into the pile. We'll have to see who the ball carrier was. I believe that was Kirkman once again. Mike Kirkman, a pickup of 2.
Kirkman, 6'1", 220. Katzenberger, 6'2", 220. So a lot of beef whenever Lynnwood tries to run the football straight down at the Warriors. But once again, nice job by Spencer Schultz. And also number 21 of the Warriors, Anthony Schlegel, to get to the runner quickly and try to bring him down.
There's the shotgun. Now the handoff straight ahead. This time they give the ball to Alton Hammond. The sophomore picks up maybe a yard, and now a big third down. And we'll see what the Edmonds Woodway defense can do. Spencer Schultz on the stop for E-Dub.
Spencer Schultz, nice job of reading where the play was going, seeing it was coming right at him with Alton Hammond, even with all the misdirection in the backfield, and bringing him down for just a 1-yard pickup.
2-3 wideouts now. Twins to the near side. One lone man on the far side. Full house backfield. And Edmonds Woodway showing blitz. Here comes Spencer Schultz. Fires onto the far side and hung up just a little bit. Some contact between Isaac Jackson, the defender, and Carson Horner, the intended receiver. I didn't think it was a good no call at that point.
Well, it's tough, too, because Cachopo's dropping back, and he's trying to throw across his body back to the other side of the field. And it was just kind of a slow developing route for number 21, Carson Horner. And that's just really what it was. Cachopo wanted to make sure he got the ball out in time so that right when his receiver came out of the break, it was there. but it was just kind of a slow route by the near side guy, Carson Horner.
Horner, a very capable receiver. Just didn't get it anywhere near where he could field it.
Great
and now
punter
Nash
as well.
will take it in and is immediately pays for picking up the football as Clarence Aseka quickly down as the gunner drops Nash for a -2 loss on the return.
So see if Warriors can put a long sustaining drive together. The last time they got it at about the 26, were able to bring it in for a touchdown off of 2 plays. But now let's see as they start all the way back at about their own 18-yard line or 17, if they can put it downfield with 9 minutes left.
9:30 on the clock. And the familiar twins on the near side, I formation for the Warriors. Morales back to pass, pumps once, fires over the middle. It's Nash with the catch, eludes one tackler, still on his feet past the first down marker to the 30. And just squeaks the extra 2 yards needed for the first down.
And what a great pump fake by Nick Morales right there. He was going to throw it to the near side outside receiver, and right when he did that, he did the pump fake. Andrew Katzenberger, the outside linebacker, went out, leaving a wide open passing lane to Nash. He immediately brought it back, reset his feet, and delivered the pass, pick up a first down.
Bradwall and Nash on the far side. And now a handoff goes to Justice. Justice has some room, picks up a block down to the 40-yard line near the first down marker, and then some. 2 plays, 20 yards, and another first down for E-Dub. Things seem to be clicking now for E-Dub. And how big does the opening up both styles? You got a little run here, a little pass there. Can it continue?
Keeps the defense on their heels, and it keeps them guessing out there. Linebackers don't necessarily know where to flow, and it makes it that much easier if you're on offense.
Morales hands off once again to Justice. Gets another big block up the middle. Busts it out to the outside, almost near another first down. And they'll mark it just over midfield at the 49 inside Lynnwood territory.
I'm impressed with how the offensive line is getting down to up to the second level linebackers. Something we haven't really seen the last 2 weeks out of them. Getting downfield, and the runners, especially Chance Justice, staying patient, waiting for his block, and then accelerating to the outside.
2nd down and 1. Lynnwood puts an extra man in the box here. The sole linebacker is Katzenberger. And now here comes the run. Justice is able to get, except that's not Justice. That is Tyler Reinford. We've seen him come out of the backfield with the ball on numerous occasions with some very good success. He is much bigger back than either Venema or Justice. And sometimes having a little extra pop in you, and that time is able to keep his feet moving, picked up an extra 3 or 4 yards.
Warriors have a 3-headed monster in the backfield. When Reinford is in, it's just mainly to pick up 1 or 2 yards, except for on a 1st and 10, he's back in there right now, Keith.
And after the carry, a pickup of 3. And a penalty flag along the sideline in front of Lynnwood. And the coaching staff wanted something over there. You could tell by the way they were raising their hands that they saw a foul. We'll see if this goes against Edmonds Woodway. Yeah, unsportsmanlike conduct. Sometimes it's the second or third little pick that costs you the penalty, and they don't always see the first one. In this case, Lynnwood gets charged with a personal foul, unsportsmanlike conduct, automatic first down. The ball will be placed on the 17-yard line. Another great opportunity for Edmonds Woodway to make a statement before the half.
And although that penalty launches that football further down closer to the goal line and puts the Lynnwood Royals at their back, I don't know if you necessarily want that to happen if you're head coach John Gradwell. You had a nice rhythm on offense. You had the no huddle working to perfection, picking up 5 to possibly they even got an 11-yard pickup on this drive. So it kind of kills your momentum a little bit in that rhythm, and hopefully they can sustain it even with that penalty.
6th play of the drive for the Warriors with the ball on the 17. Morales goes under center. And now we've got penalty flags. And if something's going to kill the momentum, it's going to be the hanky. So that'll back Edmonds Woodway up after the false start.
The last 2 weeks, Keith, in those close games for Edmonds Woodway, that's the biggest thing that's killed them. 2 weeks ago against Meadowdale, you had the intentional grounding, 2 of them, and then last week you had the false start, and this, you're driving all the way downfield and get another false start. Try to keep it, just keep it dry, fundamentally sound all the way down so you score.
Keep it clean. Here's Morales now, bootleg, rolls out to his right, has some pressure, hits Hodengarten with the catch at the 10, past the 5, and a penalty flag in the backfield. It's in the area of holding, although Morales took a shot after he got rid of the football. It could very well be roughing the passer. We'll find out. Penalty flags down along the 5 also, so there's dirty laundry all over the field.
Just a nice roll out to the near side of the field. Brandon Hotengarten, the tight end, went about 10 yards up and then just did a simple out route. Right before Alton Hammond was about to hit Nick Morales, he was able to throw it, get it to the big guy, and let him run downfield. And it might even be a roughing the passer potentially.
Well, we've got a hold against Edmonds Woodway, and we've got a personal foul against Lynnwood. So most likely, this is not a situation where you will offset. If the penalty was after the dead ball, you will probably mark off both penalties, and it will result in another first down for Edmonds Woodway. So Edmonds Woodway will back up on the hold back to the 30. And then they're going to turn around and march it the other direction. And they're continuing to go back. So that was a 15 yards against, that's a big hold. I think they got it backwards. I'm not entirely sure how you get a 15-yard holding penalty, but that's what they marked off. So I don't think they counted right. But that's where they're going to put it, right back down at the original line of scrimmage.
I think Warriors should have another 5 yards added on.
Well, that was although it could be from the spot of the foul.
Okay.
So if it's a hold from the spot of the foul, 5 yards deep in the backfield, that would equal, according to my mathematics.
So, of course, we're doing our math wrong, and they might be doing the exact same.
7:18 to go, second quarter. Edmonds Woodway on top, 7-6. And they've got the ball, 1st and 16 to go on the 23-yard line. Here's Reinford. Bounces off one would-be tackler, still on his feet. Down to the end line. Touchdown, Warriors! Reinford again. And drug out of bounds. Penalty flags fly. There's a lot going on down on the football field right now. We also have a penalty marker about the 10. Neither team has it clean.
I think it might have been a little bit of an extra effort by the defender in trying to bring Reinford down after he crossed the goal line for a touchdown. A little bit of a late hit, possibly.
I didn't see what happened around the 10.
Yeah,
that's back there where it might be a block in the back. Of course, we'll sort it all out.
Well, it was a great block by the right guard by Edmonds Woodway, which is exactly what Reinford ran or cut off of. And that might have been what the holding was called on.
So that will come back 15 yards, almost to the original line of scrimmage. And they'll start it again. So the first and 15 plus, third that we've seen, Edmonds Woodway has made good on 2 of the 3.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Keith. Done a great job of progressing and executing downfield, going towards the goal line, putting Lynnwood at their back against and trying to keep Edmonds Woodway away from trying to get a touchdown, and then you just get another penalty and it backs them up once again. Let's try to see if they can continually do this. They got a lot of time left before half to try to put something together.
7 minutes on the clock. And Lynnwood defense has been on the field a long time here in this drive. 1st and 16, ball back on the 23. Pete and repeat. And now Morales swings, hands the ball straight up to Venema. Has some running room, gets by a couple of tacklers. Up near the first down marker, and another penalty flies. 3rd, 1st, and long. 3rd time Edmonds Woodway has rattled off big yardage, and the 3rd time that we've seen a penalty. And I think this time it's going against Lynnwood. It is spearing. So that will put Edmonds Woodway inside the 5-yard line of the Royals. And erase the penalties. On this last little flurry of possession that Edmonds Woodway has had, it's been the lack of fundamental tackling from Lynnwood that has really gotten them into a spot, not the penalties.
That and also the patience of the running backs and the linemen getting upfield to those linebackers. And then all of that is just a kind of a combination, as you said, of
how many broken tackles have we seen? Now first down and goal on the 5-yard line. Venom in the backfield along with Reinford. And they hand it to Reinford straight ahead, dropped at the 2. Pick up a 3. And the big body of Tyler Reinford keeping the momentum forward for Edmonds Woodway. They get right back in the hurry up now, second down and goal. 6:24 to go here in the second quarter. Plenty of time. Bradwell and Nash, the receiving core, on the near side for E-Dub. And now Morales will swing. Handoff once again to Reinford. Gets right into the stack, still trying to go forward. Over the end line, touchdown on the second effort. And a beauty at that. Tyler Reinford.
Great job once again by the right side. Offensive line try to get a push upfield. The outside linebacker, I think it was number 5, Alton Hammond.
Hammond and Kirkman were right in there.
And one of them got him right in the midsection and kind of drove him back. But then, as you mentioned it, the second effort of Tyler Reinford extending the football over the goal line and getting the touchdown, putting the Warriors up by 7 pending the field goal.
Still plenty of time before the quarter and the half are through. Fatty with the kick. He has been dynamite on PATs. And he puts another one through. 14-6 your score. 6:04 remain here in the first half of play between the Royals and the Warriors. We'll be back. You're watching the Sound Live Sports Network, presented by Shoreline Community College.
Welcome to Northwest Best, brought to you by Smart Service Subaru. Here's your host, Mike Halsey.
We're back at the Red Onion in Mountlake Terrace, and I'm with the owner, Sean, and the food here is absolutely terrific. The burgers are made with 100% beef, made to order with fresh ingredients. And you're involved in a lot of community projects.
Yes, Mike, we are. With the help of our loyal customers, we're able to give back to our community. Such as we take 100 kids shopping with cops and join us for our terrific Tuesday fundraisers. Join us
at Red Onion Burger.
And thank you for watching.
Homecoming affair here. Edmonds Woodway has the lead 14-6 and got tested, battle tested in that last drive, Stephen.
Well, they had about, believe it or not, 70 yards total starting from about the 25-yard line in. 2 of those brought back by penalties, but stayed resilient and persevered, scoring a touchdown, going up by 8.
You score off of well, you don't score, but you get the first down after a beautiful pass to Brandon Hohengarten. That gets called back. Tyler Reinford, Chance Justice doing their jobs to eat up yards, erases another would-be touchdown after the hold. And then you're able to finally put it in. And it has to feel good. Edmonds Woodway has put up points. Well, the real bugaboo has been that they have also allowed a tremendous amount of points on the season. And now we'll see what Justin Cachopo can do. Here comes the blitz. And it is that's Katzenberger. Katzenberger gets past the 25-yard line to the 29. Pickup of 6 yards.
The Warrior defense, especially those linebackers. Number 3, Nick Venemo came in. And then number 27, Tyler Reinford, the one who just scored the touchdown. He flew on that blitz. Spencer Schultz, they're flying around. Warriors on defense from that offense scoring on that last drive has a little bit of a pep in their step, and the Lynnwood Royals need to start getting some momentum on their side.
Another run straight ahead. This time it's Hammond with the ball carrier, picks up the first down for the Royals.
That time, number 72 of the Warriors, Tanner Caraco, their captain, got driven back just a little bit, which gave Alton Hammond a chance to pick up that first down for Lynnwood, and a much-needed one at that, since the last couple times they haven't done much on offense, punting the last time on a 3-and-out. Well, that's 2 possessions have been.
Yeah, Lynnwood started with a beautiful drive and ended up fumbling near the red zone, near the E-Dub red zone. That started things off. That is almost picked up. Caught at the 44-yard line. Richard Charong gets by 2 defenders, and they thread the needle. A beautiful catch. And a penalty flag is down, and also a Royal. And I believe that's Trong who's on the turf.
Well, that's about the 3rd time, Keith, that he's had to elevate, catch the football at its highest point, and make an athletic play to bring it down. And if you're the Warriors, that's the only guy that really Justin Cachopo is looking at out there as a receiver. I think he's done a dump off or a swing out pass to Kirkman or maybe even Katzenberger. But besides that, the only guy hurting him downfield is Richard Truong.
And now we've got a stoppage in play. We'll stay right here at halftime, the Action Jackson Plumbing halftime show, and bring you all the festivities from the Edmonds Woodway halftime, including the marching band and the drill teams. Edmonds Woodway, should they get back on top of the winning column, if they can get by Lynnwood today, would then have a couple of games where you always look ahead. You don't want to coast too much, but the Shoreline schools, Shorecrest and Shorewood, are certainly having their struggles this season. And Edmonds Woodway right now, if they can get past Lynnwood and still stay on top of things, may be able to get into a very, very, very tough matchup against Glacier Peak that's meaningful at the end of the season. That's on October 24th.
The beauty of, and we opened up with this, Keith, the beauty of it is Warriors must win every single game out to try to get into the postseason play. And although the Shorecrest and Shorewood teams have been a little weak, those are games that they have to win, so they'll come with a little bit of attitude to it.
Personal foul and a 15-yard penalty moves Lynnwood further upfield, and there's a skip off the turf, underthrowing Lucas Youngman. Cachopo couldn't quite get there. Chance Justice on coverage for Edmonds Woodway, and that'll bring up 2nd down, but a great effort by Trong to get them the 1st down to begin with. You've got to be careful if you're Edmonds Woodway now to give them freebies, and that's exactly what happened.
And expect somebody else out there at the wide receiver position, someone you're not really looking at, maybe even number 22, Bobby Graham and Carson Horner downfield. Don't let them get behind you and let Cachopo throw it to him.
They'll give it to Hammond straight ahead, and he is tackled immensely. Rhineford got there first but couldn't make the tackle, but certainly held things up for Justice. And Spencer Schultz made the tackle, 3rd down, and a big 3rd down. You're guaranteed you're in 4-down territory now if you're Lynnwood with 3:40 to go.
Looking for them to maybe go 2 pass plays, or especially on 3rd down, if they want to run the football, to do it right here with Andrew Katzenberger to try to get closer to that 1st down marker.
And here we go if you're Lynnwood, 3rd down. They'll put Katzenberger in motion. And back to pass now is Cachopo. Has a man on the rollout. Thrown over the middle and a penalty flag. And a number of them as the tie-up. Anthony Schlegel, the linebacker, got tied up with the intended receiver. And that'll be a 1st down.
Well, Schlegel didn't even turn around to see where number 22, Bobby Graham, was. And that's what the real penalty is. You got to get your head around to see where the football is and make a play on it. If you don't, it's an easy throw of the flag by the official.
So assuming this is pass interference, and it is, that will move the chains once again. So Edmonds Woodway in the last drive anyway has surrendered 25 yards of offense to the Lynnwood Royals. 1st and 10 on the 26. Roll out and the swing out now back to Youngman. Youngman, the receiver on the play, catches it for a minor loss.
Nice job by the outside linebacker, Thomas Matulovic, to flow with the football and read where it was going and dropping the Lynnwood Royal down for no gain.
So 2nd and 10, 2:56 to go. Edmonds Woodway has scored on their last 2 possessions. Would love to get the football back before the end of the half. And now we've got a timeout on the field. We will take one ourselves here on the Sound Live Sports Network. 2:48 remain here in the half. 14-6 Warriors over Royals. Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com. The Action Jackson halftime program right around the corner here during homecoming for Edmonds Woodway. I'd like to take this brief timeout to remind you that March 21st is the Edmonds Woodway Athletic Booster Club's annual auction. Make sure you circle that one on the calendar. Back to pass. Cachopo looking long. Has a man open. Tipped and then knocked away. No, it will be caught. It was an interception for Chance Justice. The man back in coverage. It looked for a moment that he had knocked the ball loose. Able to turn around at the last second, exactly like you mentioned needed to happen about a play earlier, Stephen. And Edub will get the ball back with 2:41 to go.
Probably the toughest matchup out there on defense for Edmonds Woodway at the receiver position. He tried looking for his guy, Richard Truong, made 3 fantastic athletic catches previously in this first half. That's the guy he was looking for, but you got to catch the football at his highest point, and that's exactly what Chance Justice did in the end zone, bringing his team out to about the 20-yard line for a 1st and 10.
And we'll see if they put the pressure on in the 2-minute offense and try to go in and up a couple of touchdowns. Here's the handoff. Justice with it. Gets around one end. Now breaks to the outside. He's got room. Past midfield he goes. He's got one man to beat. And that is Katzenberger. And he won't catch up. Actually, that's Kevin Wynn. And neither he or Katzenberger can catch Chance Justice into the end zone. 80 yards. Touchdown Warriors.
Simple play off to the left side for Edmonds Woodway. He got his guys, the linemen, to get up to the second-level linebackers. Off that, he made the read, cut it near side, and then just sprinted all the way down the numbers. For Meep goes Roadrunner, and he was gone for the touchdown.
And look for a second there. Kevin Wynn had the angle to chase him down. And Justice just put a little extra something in the tank there about the 30-yard line. And it wasn't even close.
But what a massive back-to-back plays for Edmonds Woodway. You get the interception in the end zone after you gave 2 penalties to Lynnwood that brought him all the way down within striking distance, and then you get one play and you sprint away for the touchdown right before half. Excellent last 2 plays by the Warrior defense and then Warrior offense.
Waiting the kick now, Abrima Fatty, the PAT kicker. Pumps it up and through the uprights. And it is a 2-touchdown ball game right now, 21-6. Edmonds Woodway with the lead. It only took them 5.5 seconds, I think, to go off the clock. Let's see, it was 3:30, so 3:32, 8 seconds go off the clock in the sprint. We'll take a brief timeout and be back on the Sound Live Sports Network.
People assume quality car insurance has to cost more. People assume too much. The truth is, drivers who switched to Allstate last year saved money and got better protection. So get the facts, because you know what they say about people who assume. They pay more for car insurance than you and me.
To see how much you can save on car insurance and much more, call Jeff Smar. Jeff's office serves many areas including Lynnwood, Edmonds, Bothell, and Mountlake Terrace. He can be reached at 425-949-7103 or jeffsmar@allstate.com.
A penalty, I believe, a sideline infraction penalty on Lynnwood. Will put the ball in their own territory on the kickoff. So at this point in time, he can just afford to squib it down there.
Exactly. Don't kick it high and get into the end zone. Just squib it and make him return it.
Or kick it high and get it into the end zone. You and I are on the same page, Stephen McGray. But it'll be first down and 10 yards to go. For the Royals, they'll start on their own 20. They went 7 plays on the last drive, got all the way down to the 36-yard line before the interception. Justice with the interception. And now Lynnwood. We'll see what they can do with a just over 2 minutes, 2:26 remaining here in the first half. Full house at Edmonds District Stadium. They're standing along the rail. Here's the handoff. 2 yards. Hammond once again with the carry.
With all the momentum, Keith, on Edmonds Woodway's side going into halftime, Lynnwood needs to get something positive going. They did get all the way down there and try to throw a touchdown to Trong, which was ultimately picked off by Justice. But they got to continually keep on trying to go down there. Besides that, the last 2 possessions that they had were 2 quick 3-and-outs. So see if they can drive down and get some points up on the board.
Back to pass. Cachopo now under some pressure. Screened to Katzenberger. Great stop underneath. Read very well by Anthony Schlegel. Comes up from his backfield spot. Read that screen perfectly, and they do give him the first down, though. Katzenberger able to get enough over the 30-yard line. They will move the chains.
And it should have gone for more, Keith. They got exactly what they wanted from those defensive ends. Defensive tackle for Edmonds Woodway, and even outside linebackers going upfield, selling the screen perfectly. Linemen just didn't get downfield and block any of the secondary guys.
Hammond goes in motion. Now a high snap, and he'll have to get rid of it along the far sideline. Almost picked off. It was another interception. And now Edmonds Woodway can put some real hurt on. Well, they've got a minute 21 to get things done. They start at midfield. And I believe that was Schlegel that got over there that made the pick.
It's either Schlegel or number 8, Brendan
Davis. And it was Davis. Brendan Davis with the pick.
Great job of reading Cachopo's eyes and then seeing where he was going to throw it. He put a little bit too much air under it and gave Brendan Davis enough time to sprint over there, cut it off at the right angle, and get the interception. The Warriors already on the other side of the Lynnwood 50 and threatening with a minute and 21 left.
3 turnovers for the Royals in the half. That'll hurt you. And there's a jump, and everybody in the stands saw it happen. And E-Dub will back up now as Justin Kinnear on that right-hand side with the infraction. And now first down and 15 yards to go, back across midfield.
Once again, the Warriors taking a positive with a negative, getting the interception, then a false start by one of your offensive linemen. They do have the lead, Keith. They're up 15 with a minute and 21 left in the half, but you got to start playing some sound or disciplined football going forward.
Ball on the 46-yard line. Morales in the rollout now. Has to get by Jungman, and now we'll just step out of bounds near the original line, or not the original line of scrimmage, but near this line of scrimmage after the penalty. I don't think he gained a yard, maybe 2 yards. Second down and 13 is where they were marked the football.
I think Jugman could have made the sack, but he just kind of slipped out there when he was chasing Nick Morales. And then nice job by Alton Hammond. It's always fun when you can get a quarterback right in front of you and kind of knock him down and kind of get a big hit. But he kind of let up knowing that Morales was just going to step out of bounds and only, like you said, pick up 1 yard.
A minute 13 to go now. Second and long for Morales. 2 on the far sideline receiving core. And now back to pass is Morales. This time he's got time, but the screen is batted away by Harris Katuk. Sophomore, 6 foot, 215, trying to get over those big outstretched hands. Katuk just brought it to the ground, and as he gets it over the top, That's good for at least 10 or 15 yards by the time the Lynnwood secondary can come off their routes. 3rd down and 13 to go. Just over a minute to play here in the half. Edmonds Woodway has scored on their last 3 drives. There's the handoff. Interior this time to Justice. Still on his feet. Gets near the 45-yard line, and a penalty flag once again. You gotta be disciplined, and right now Lynnwood is really hurting themselves.
Well, you're just giving more help to Edmonds Woodway as they keep on trying to put even a field goal up here before half with only 59 seconds left. Just play disciplined, clean football. You were going to get Edmonds Woodway off the field. It was 3rd and 13. They didn't pick up the first down. You're possibly going to get another big play opportunity up with your offense. But if this is going against Lynnwood, as they're waving it, wow.
Well, they're waving it off. Look, for a minute there, they were going to call the spear. That's what I saw when I was looking at the referee who threw the flag. But they will wave that off, and it will be 4th down. Yet Edmonds Woodway will go right back under football and try to pick up the 7 yards needed for the first down. 56 seconds to go. Here in the first half of play, Edmonds Woodway a 2-touchdown lead.
Look for just a hard count, Keith. Woodway has 3 timeouts left. Maybe just get a cheap 5 yards right here. Nope.
It doesn't happen. They'll hand the ball off. This time goes to Justice, who just hits the pile right at the line of scrimmage and falls back 2 yards. And on downs, Lynnwood will take over with 37 seconds to go.
He read the play right and went through the right hole, but Thomas Matulovic, the right guard who is blocking, I think, number 5, Alton Hammond, just couldn't get any sort of drive off, and that led his running back right into his back. And an easy, well, there wasn't really a tackle after that. Justice kind of fell down, and then Lynnwood got the ball back.
Yeah, Hammond probably credited with the tackle.
Yeah, for sure.
And now 1st down and 10 for Cachopo as the sun comes down into the press box here. A nice warm afternoon as Hammond scoots across midfield, a pickup of 7 yards. All you're trying to do at this point in time is get 1 strike for Cachopo. 1 long distance throw into the end zone. And we've got somebody down now, and under a minute that's going to cost you a timeout. That's Hammond. They stop the clock with 26 seconds to go. Right now, Lynnwood with 1 timeout. Edmonds Woodway, as you mentioned, has all 3 of theirs. Hammond will do a little hop, skip, and a jump off the turf and off the sidelines. Lynnwood is at home here a week from today against league-leading Meadowdale, the Mavericks. At 8 p.m., the late game in that one. And then on the road here against Mount Lake Terrace, and Mount Lake Terrace's homecoming. And then finish here at Edmonds District Stadium against Shorewood. So the remainder of the games for the Royals are right here at Edmonds District Stadium. Here is the run past the 1st down marker. The clock will run out. Not enough left to get 1 more play off for Cachopo. So unfortunate for the Royals. Edmonds Woodway takes the lead heading into the locker room at halftime. 21-6. Homecoming for the Warriors, and they're going to like what they see on the scoreboard as they walk in. A lead, something they haven't enjoyed heading into a locker room in the last 3 games. We'll come back with the Action Jackson Plumbing halftime show in just a moment. Warriors with the lead, 21-6. Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
Welcome to Northwest Best, brought to you by Smart Service Subaru. Here's your host, Mike Halsey.
We're back at the Red Onion in Mount Lake Terrace, and I'm with the owner, Sean, and the food here is absolutely terrific. The burgers are made with 100% beef, made to order with fresh ingredients. And you're involved in a lot of community projects.
Yes, Mike, we are. With the help of our loyal customers, we're able to give back to our community. Such as we take 100 kids shopping with cops and join us for our terrific Tuesday fundraisers. Join us
at Red Onion Burger.
And thank you for watching.
Welcome back on the Sound Live Sports Network, the Action Jackson Plumbing halftime program. And it's all about the festivities here on the halftime program. The marching band for Edmonds Woodway coming onto the field for the first time this season under the direction of band director Jake Bergman. And I'm just going to stop talking, Stephen. I think that's the best thing we can possibly do, is stop talking and let everybody take in the marching band. We'll be back with the halftime program in just a moment.
Let's hear it for our band, an amazing cheer team who are going to accompany the band. And as they perform Everybody's Everything by Satana. Let's hear it. Woo! gave the band their snazzy new uniforms. And special thanks goes to the Stephen Hott uniform crew, Robin Whitehouse, Linda Fries, Nina Matthew, and Paula Spurbeck. So let's give them a round of applause.
We're in need of our freshman royalty to come out from the band, so if I could have you guys step on out here.
Okay, I'm going to advertise our homecoming dance really quick. It is tomorrow night from 8 to 10, and tickets at the door are $10, and the dress is semi-formal. And so now we have our homecoming court that I'm going to introduce. This is a tradition here at Edmonds Woodway, and each student is nominated by staff, and then their peers vote for the winners. So now I'm going to introduce our homecoming court of 2014, starting with the freshmen. Our freshman prince is Edward Kim, escorted by Jacob Kitchen. Our freshman princess is Fran Hurd, escorted by her father, Alan Hurd. Our sophomore princess is Kendra Cooper, escorted by her father, Dino, and her mother, Cynthia Cooper. Our sophomore prince is Ryan Peterson, escorted by his father, Eric Peterson. Our junior prince is Kyle Gall, escorted by his mom, Candy Gall. Our junior princess is Raina Dukaitis, escorted by her father, Steve Dukaitis. This year's Duchess is Sarah Barnes, escorted by her mom, Karen, and her father. I would also like to mention our Duke, Blake Durham, who cannot be here tonight. And now we go into our senior royalties. So for our senior court, our first prince is Finian Rogan, escorted by his parents, Pat and Buddy Rogan. And now for our first senior princess is Kyla Chipoponi, escorted by her father, Noel, and sister, Kimberly Chipoponi. Our next senior prince is Nathan Philosophy, escorted by his parents, Patty and Robin. And for our senior princess, Salem Abraha, escorted by her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Abershea. And our next senior prince is Marco Bejarano, escorted by his sister Yesenia. And our next senior princess is Anne Lou, escorted by her parents. Now our senior prince, Jack White, escorted by his mother, Sari White. And our senior princess, Wilson, escorted by her mom, Jenny, sister Liz, and brother Hugh Wilson. And now, for your homecoming king, Will Seagull, escorted by his parents, Clay and Mary Seagull. And this year's homecoming queen, Malia Mackey, escorted by her father, Mert Mackey, and Jody and Kia. Can we have one more big round of applause for the 2014 homecoming court?
As we get things wrapped up here, the festivities at the homecoming of Edmonds Woodway. And they are
this year's winner of the Spirit Shield, the class of 2015 seniors.
an announcement on the cheer and all the festivities throughout the week, the little challenges that they have and the points. It was all won by the seniors. I think that's done more often than not, Stephen McGrain. And as we were able to watch the pep dans and their snazzy new duds out there in the brand new uniforms, they announced the homecoming court. Will Seagal gets the honor as the king, and Malia Mackey, the queen of Edmonds Woodway High School homecoming version 2014. And we're at the half here on the Action Jackson halftime show. 21-6 is the score. The Edmonds Woodway Warriors on top of the Lynnwood Royals. We'll take a quick break on the Action Jackson halftime program and come back with a little football analysis when we get on the other side. Stick around, we'll be right back. Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com. Welcome back on the Sound Live Sports Network, the Action Jackson halftime program. Keith Neely and Big Stephen McGrain. And so far, it was ugly first quarter. One big play got Lynnwood on the board first, and Andrew Katzenberger, the guy that did it.
Just a simple sprint out to the far side of the field. Cachopo to the left, found Katzenberger. He caught it, and by the reaction of the defense for Edmonds Woodway, they kind of thought that might have been an interception or just fell down to the turf, but Katzenberger took it off and ran all the way for a touchdown. But besides that, they've been quiet throughout the rest of the first half of football. Especially the second quarter. The missed PAT is why they sit at 6 points right now. But after that, really got nothing going. After the second quarter break ended, they came back out, took the first possession, ended up with a punt, and then followed that up with 2 interceptions. And they very costly interceptions set up drives that Edmonds Woodway ended up having great field position on and were able to muster 14 points out of. When they were able to drive the football down the field and do those quick 3-and-outs, it was mainly just because of penalties. And then when they were able to drive the football down the field, get within scoring distance, have Woodway backed up against their own goal line, then they would throw a turnover and an interception, the biggest one to, I believe, Chance Justice intercepted in the end zone, which brought the ball out to the 20. So they've had some success, but then something is putting a little bit of a hitch in that giddy-up, and the ball has gone back to Edmonds Woodway. Edmonds Woodway, on the other hand, has finally got a little comfort in their offense, something that both the passing game and the running game seem to be flowing
something they haven't really seen much of in the first 3 or 4 games this season.
No, and Nick Morales has looked nice. They've given him time, which is the biggest thing from the last 2 weeks. The offensive line is holding up that defensive tackle and defensive ends. And then when they're trying to run the football, whether it's Nick Venema, Chance Justice, or Tyler Reinford, the offensive line is getting to those first-level guys and getting up to the linebackers. Runners just staying patient enough to bounce off of them and then taking it for big chunks of yards.
Chance Justice, a 5-yard TD, a 26-yard TD. He's got 2 on the evening. Tyler Reinford able to get in on a 2-yard scamper, and he picks up his, I believe, 3rd touchdown of the season. So those 2 young men putting the scoring on right now for EW. 21-6 is the score right now at the half. We'll come back and get things going in the 3rd quarter on the Sound Live Sports Network. It's the Action Jackson halftime show. We'll be back right back. Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com. At the half here at Edmonds Woodway, the home team, their homecoming, started off the afternoon with some fireworks of sorts. Not quite fireworks, but fire. They have the E and W out in the outside the track that they burn every year and light that thing ablaze. And that kicked off the evening, and so far the sunshine has come down and lights are up. And more fire on the football field if you're an Edmonds Woodway fan. They've done well.
Yeah, and hopefully they continue to do so. Keep the momentum on their side as they get the first half kickoff since Lynnwood received it on the opening drive. But see if they can continue to kind of get that running game going and get some passes downfield and keep that Lynnwood defense kind of off balance.
Edmonds Woodway in a position of being ahead in a halftime of a football game this season, a rarity. They've certainly thrown a lot at the second half, having to come all the way back to tie and go into overtime against league-leading Meadowdale, and then had to play a real tough ball game against the Mount Lake Terrace Hawks a week ago. And as we look at the standings, Meadowdale on top will play the second game tonight, the 8 o'clock game against the Shorewood Thunderbirds. But right behind them, Glacier Peak, losing to Meadowdale last week, find themselves in that battle for first and second. The third spot is always the question mark. Right now, Mount Lake Terrace would have the opportunity to go up into the north and have that playoff game that would mean they have a chance at that 5th berth to state. And then, of course, Lynnwood right there in a place they haven't been in a long, long time, Stephen. 3-1 on the season, 1-1 in league. They are able to come back in this second half. They get themselves into some interesting position in the standings.
And probably the best thing you can look at for Warriors fans specifically is you're up at half in this game against a good Lynnwood team that's sitting at 3-1 overall, 1-1 in Wesco. And then your next 2 games, you got Shorewood right there, 1-2 and 2-2. And then you got Shorecrest at 0-2 and 0-4. So you have some teams that you should be able to beat in these next 2 weeks, and then that'll lead you right into Glacier Peak, who we saw in second place there at the Wesco 3A South. So you're going to need some help for Edmonds Woodway, but it's certainly attainable, and they can possibly get into that crossover game against the North and Lynnwood. They're trying to do the exact same thing and try to pull out a victory in this game, but they got to come back.
Well, a lot of the teams ahead of you, except for Meadowdale, have already played some of the easier teams. So they'll start beating up on each other, and that's at least what you hope if you're an Edmonds Woodway fan. That's what you hope if you're a Royal fan also, especially if you happen to drop this one tonight. Of course, not over yet. A lot of football to be played, and Lynnwood, very capable football team. They don't have the penalties that they gave up in the first half. They had a fumble on their opening possession, and then 2 interceptions late in the second quarter. You erase those, it's a much different ball game.
Yeah, and their biggest play of the game was a 68-yard touchdown pass to Katzenberger. That was a lot of catch and run as opposed to the pass that only went about 8 yards downfield.
Penalty flag on the kickoff. That will be brought back, as I think Lynnwood had somebody ahead of the football on coverage there, and they will back the football up 5 yards and try it again.
Keith, I think the team that in this game can limit the penalties and also the turnovers and also get some sort of rhythm on offense is the one that's going to either, if you're Woodway, absolutely blow Lynnwood out of the water, or Lynnwood going to give them a fighting chance to come back in this football game only down 15.
One big play so far, and that was the Katzenberger run. 68 yards that brought it to 6-0 early on in the first quarter. And Lynnwood's going to have to come up with a lot of big plays. If you're Edmonds Woodway, you're not so reliant on them at this point. Here's Nash, gets a block past the 30-yard line to the 33, and that's where Edmonds Woodway will start the second half of play.
Look for Woodway to get the running game going, up by 15, 11 early on in this third quarter, get that clock working in their favor. But also, if you want to get the running game going, get yourself in a manageable third down if it comes to that, so you can pick that up and continually move the chains.
Not been a lot of third down completions in this ball game for Edmonds Woodway. The times they've had opportunities, they've ended up falling short and having to punt. So exactly right. Here's Morales. He'll spin around, hand it off to Justice. Got a great block on the interior and up to the 40-yard line for a gain of 6. Justice came out of the locker room ready to play football. And so did his line.
And if that line can get his runner 5, 4, maybe even 3 yards a carry, that's going to be perfect situation going all the way down to the field.
Once again, they hand the ball off to Justice. Gets stopped in the backfield for a moment. Now a penalty flag goes down right about where Justice fell, and we'll find out what that's about. Big number 79, Justin Kinnear, on that right-hand side of the offense. An excellent block in that first run from scrimmage by Justice. And after a hold, Edmonds Woodway will back up again, and this is exactly what we talked about. You're going to be successful if you don't make mistakes.
Well, and that penalty is going to knock him back into a 2nd and 15, whereas it could have been about a 3rd and about 4 or 5 yard situation. Maybe you can even run the football out of that. But now you get backed up. It's still 2nd down, so you got about 2 plays to get all the way down there and pick up the first down. But it just makes it a little bit that much tougher.
2nd down and 15 on the 28. Morales surveys the line in front of him. And now a long snap and a penalty flag once again. And Lynnwood saying that E-Dub moved. And on the hard count, everybody in green has to know the plan.
Well, just another false start. And as we said, Keith, the way that this game is going to go in the second half, if the Warriors want to continue on with the lead being up by 15, limit the penalties and turnovers. And that's 2 turnovers, and they've only ran 1 play, really?
Two plays, but one was brought back because of the hold. So, 1 play from scrimmage officially. Absolutely correct. 10:38 to go. They'll hand the ball off again. And right now you can bet clock management is exactly what head coach John Gradwell is about. Brings up 3rd down and long for E-Dub.
They had number 79, Justin Kinnear, come back on a pole and lead him up through the hole with Chance Justice and behind him. But number 85, the tight end, Brandon Hodengarten, just didn't sustain his block for very long. That left the defender to fight off number 50 of the Royals, Harrison Katuk, and he was able to fight off and bring him down for only a 2-yard pickup.
Hodengarten now switches sides to the near side, where Morales will head back to pass. Now he'll dump it over the middle, and the screen not fooling a soul. a 2-yard pickup, and he's lucky it wasn't picked off because right there was Alton Hammond. He also had the linebacker, Aaron Rayales, and both of them sniffed out the screen very well.
Not a very good job of spacing with the execution with the Warriors. They had number 3, Nick Venema, who was supposed to be the guy for the screen, but then they also had number 27, Tyler Reinford, coming out on the swing route to the exact same side. So spacing, and it brought all the defenders to that side with 2 big playmakers flowing to the left.
So after 3 and out and minus 5 yards on the drive, Edmonds Woodway punts it away, and that will give some pretty good field position back to Justin Cachopo. And the Royals will see what they can do on first down on the 42-yard line. And they're going to have to do exactly opposite of what Edmonds Woodway did on their first possession, and that's play clean football. Cachopo has 2 beside him now. They'll hand the ball off to Kirkman right into the pile. On the stop, Anthony Schlegel. And also there was Tanner Caraco, the captain of this defense, along with Nick Venema.
Nice job by Schlegel to see where the ball was coming and go immediately down the line of scrimmage to bring down the bigger running back. But, yeah, nice job to stay at home and then fight down the line of scrimmage and bring him down for only 1-yard pickup.
8:41 to go here in the third. Handoff into the backfield. Bust through a bunch of tackles. That's the running back, Duplessis. Darnley Duplessis, a junior, 5'9", 160 pounds. First time we've called his number. And a stop for a no gain. 3rd down and 10.
Big blitz put on right there by the Warriors. You had Spencer Schultz fly through. You also had Tyler Reinford. And then the guy ultimately brought him down, Anthony Schlegel, the one linebacker who did not blitz but flowed perfectly with the play to bring down the runner for a loss of 1.
Schlegel has been outstanding in the last probably 16 minutes of football.
Yeah.
Back to passes. Cachopo has a man open on the far side, left it short. And I think they crossed up the routes just a little bit. Richard Trong, the intended receiver, Cachopo thought he was going to cut 5 yards earlier. Trong wasn't there when the ball came loose.
It was either he went a little bit, he extended his route a little too much, and it took too long for him to come out of the break and try to get his head around and try to make a catch. Or Cachopo, he had enough time back there. He could maybe held on to the football for maybe just a second longer and deliver the perfect pass to the near side of the field.
Punt team on for the Royals. Nash, the lone deep man for Edmonds Woodway, about the 23-yard line. Kick is away. And it will bounce and be picked up about the 15. And tough. Big pop. A return of 15 yards. And a little circus activity back there. That's a little bit dangerous when the oblong pigskin's rolling around. You want to make a change and pick it up after deciding to let it hit the ground.
That was dangerous, and Keith, you don't see your punter and kicker, Brendan Davis, who has an interception in this game in the first half, lay a block like that down there to try to extend your guy a little bit further down the field. But time of possession, that's what Warriors need to be thinking about, and kind of put a long, sustaining drive together by running the football and getting that clock to continually go south.
Ball's on the Edmonds Woodway 32, 1st down and 10, second drive of the half. With the lead and the ball, 21-6. Edmonds Woodway, they'll throw the ball back to Reinford. Charges forward, gets past the linebackers and into the secondary before he's dropped at the 40-yard line. A 9-yard pickup, and down on the field, Royal, I believe that's Hammond. Hammond gets up limping just a little bit.
I think it's the second time he's about to exit the game due to cramps.
Bring out the mustard.
Mustard or pickle juice?
I'm going with mustard. Of course, that's what they issue on the out of the training pack. If you come off with the cramp, if you stay down on the turf, you might get a double dose of mustard. No burger included.
No Gatorade? Isn't that what kids usually drink nowadays?
Second down and short for Morales. Gradwell on the far side, Nash on the near side, and drawn off sides. Edmonds Woodway will get a free pass. Will Eddington, one of the down linemen for the Royals, goes over the ball. And he will go off the field. First down and 10 for Edub.
I like how Edub has Tyler Reinford back there at running back, a guy who's more of a bruiser. He's got enough speed to get downfield and has acceleration to extend a play, but he's got that extra. He's going to lower his shoulder and try to run you over, which is perfect for this sort of situation when you just want to wind the clock down.
He's been very effective this season, and he'll get the handoff once again, past the 50-yard line, into the pile, down to the 49 of Lynnwood. A pickup of 5 yards. They mark it right at the 50. And you talk about Reinford. He's certainly a different back than we've seen out of the fullback in Venema. And now a handoff on the misplay. A broken play there. I think they were trying to pitch the ball off. And instead of handing the ball off, which is what Morales thought he was going to do to Reinford, Reinford was expecting the pitch. Morales wisely turns it around, heads upfield, first down.
Great awareness by the quarterback to realize that a little bit of miscommunication, and get downfield for the first.
Reinford again with the handoff. You're going to see a whole lot of running right now, the way Edmonds Woodway is moving the ball, and the clock continues to tick, 5:52.
And if you're the Lynnwood defense, you have to be aware of who is in at running back. You got Reinford. Ooh, he fumbled the football.
They say they fumbled the football, and Lynnwood will get it back. And Reinford lowering his head. He knows what happened there, and he'll have to go right back on defense. So a turnover after a mini drive of about 40 yards. And the fumble will give the ball back to Lynnwood on their own 38-yard line.
See if Lynnwood can piece something together here. Maybe do a bubble screen out to the far side of the field, get it into one of your slot receivers' hands, a playmaker specifically, and see if you can do something downfield so they can slowly progress and put Edmonds Woodway on their heels and could put some points up on the board.
Jungming, Turong, and Graham, the wide receivers. A little reverse now. Stopped in the backfield for a loss of 3. It was Hammond with the carry. Reed Whitson in on the tackle. Whitson, 5'10", 175-pound junior, gets his number called and makes good on it.
Well, Lynnwood, that's the exact same sort of offense they opened up the first half with the second half with. A lot of misdirection in the backfield out of the shotgun formation. They got to be able to open up that playbook a little bit more and mix it up because they're showing their hand early to the Warrior defense.
5:06 to go, third quarter. Rolling out now is Cachopo to his left and has some pressure. Stopped. The ball is loose, and a penalty flag will come out. And I think Cachopo got back down on the football. Lynnwood will keep the ball. We'll see what the penalty was about. I saw a helmet go rolling down about the 20-yard line, an Edmonds Woodway helmet. And that one expertly played by Edmonds Woodway defense. Again, a lot more blitzing schemes than we've seen in recent years.
Well, the nice thing right there was Spencer Schultz, the outside linebacker on the far side of the field, realized that Cachopo was just doing a simple sprint out to the far side to his left, sprinted upfield, which made Cachopo have to kind of turn back and step up into the pocket because Schultz drove the defender back. And then after that, when he turned back in, Will Seagal, number 72, came down and laid the hammer on him, which put the football on the turf. And it looked like Edmonds Woodway did recover, so they'll have it on 1st and 10 at the 29.
There was a question whether he was down, and it was originally ruled back to Lynnwood, and then they reversed it. So Edmonds Woodway will get the ball on their own 29-yard line. Or excuse me, the Lynnwood 21-yard line. 1st and 10. Back into the ball game is Justice. He'll take the handoff, and we'll get no further than the line of scrimmage where he is stopped. Aaron Reales with the tackle, and the junior getting some time, and he's doing well.
You kind of wonder, you see Tyler Reinford kind of walking the sideline right now, just getting some rest after he fumbled the football after those last 2 runs and had to go on defense. Chance Justice, though, speed back, someone who's going to has a big play opportunity. You wonder how long it'll take for them to switch Reinford back into the game, more of the bruiser, and he's going to slow down the pace of the football game.
2nd down and 11. Here's a pass. They overthrow. Nash was the intended receiver. And it goes over his head. Kevin Wynn on the coverage for the Royals. Brings up 3rd down.
Nash just tried to do about a 7-yard slant route and got held up with Nguyen, and that's the reason why he couldn't get any spacing. It looked more of just kind of an anticipation throw by Nick Morales. Just kind of assumed that your receiver was going to be open, and he wasn't. So you got to be able to scan the field, check all your options, maybe even go with the check down, but it was a 3-step drop, so you had to look to the far side of the field quick.
3rd down and 11. 4:12 to go in the 3rd quarter. 3 wide receivers with Hohengarten now in the slot. And now they'll try the reverse. Here comes the handoff on the left-hand side. It goes to Chance Justice. Picks up maybe 3 yards before Bobby Graham, the defensive back, makes the stop. 4th down.
Wasn't really the progression of that play wasn't quick enough or wasn't deceptive enough to try to get those linebackers the flow of the Lynnwood Royals, and then Bobby Graham at the free safety position realized that Justice had it coming back around on the near side of the field, and he just accelerated and flew up there to make the tackle for no gain, and now it's going to 4th and 10 for Edmonds Woodway.
Edmonds Woodway 0 for 1 on 4th down tonight. Now Morales into a rare shotgun formation. He'll roll out to his right. Picks up a block, now fires a strike. It's over to Gradwell right about the sticks. They say he caught the football. Did he get the 1st down? Yes. Edmonds Woodway goes back to the steady Eddie receiver. The first catch tonight, strangely, for Jas Gradwell. Had one go in and out of his hands. And now we're awaiting the change to move, and they will now move inside the red zone. No, they gave it short. They said it was short. We had 2 different receivers, or 2 different referees saying 2 different things on the far sideline. And now Lynnwood will get the ball back. So Edmonds Woodway 0 for 2 on 4th down, but a nice play nonetheless to get the ball near.
Yeah, they needed to get to that 1st down marker. It was a nice route. Josh Gradwell thought he was there, and he was aware enough to get close to the marker, but he's about a yard shy, and now Lynnwood's going to get the ball back and going to run it towards the left side of the field.
We're only in the 3rd quarter, but you get the feeling at this point in time that Lynnwood's going to have to play with a little urgency from here on out.
Trying to get something going downfield, too. These running plays, that's the difficult thing about their kind of offense. They like to run the football with Kirkman, Katzenberger, and Hammond, but when you're down in a game, especially to 15 against a Warrior offense that's moving the football down the field and likes to run it as well, you're just draining the clock. You got to look for a big play opportunity downfield in the passing game.
3 wide receivers, 2 in the backfield. Little misdirection, gets the ball and past the 40-yard line, still on his feet. Down to the 40 and out of bounds. That is Kirkman on the carry. Outstanding job. I had bought on the play action fake. Into the pile and scooting out to his left. Kirkman with a lot of daylight past the 40-yard line. It's down to the 35.
Kirkman, 5'11", 235, ran off to the left side. The defensive end and defensive tackle for Edmonds Woodway crashed down on that middle gap, the B gap, and they thought that they did a great job of containing him in the backfield, but he was able to keep his legs moving and rumble all the way down for a big 1st down.
Another big play for Lynnwood. Exactly what this Royal offense needs is a little spark, and they got it right there off the back of Kirkman. And now into the same set. 3 wide receivers, 2 in the backfield. Shotgun formation. They hand the ball up straight away again. Back to Duplessis. 2 yards. Edmonds Woodway signaling they have a fumble, and they picked it up. And indeed, that's exactly what happened. Duplessis coughs the ball up, and for the 5th time, 5 times tonight, Lynnwood has given the ball right back to Edmonds Woodway.
And that's the last thing they needed. You got a big play, and you don't want to shoot yourself in the foot by either a penalty or a turnover. You put the ball on the turf, you're going to give an opportunity for the defenders to jump on it and Warriors to go back on offense, and that's exactly what happened. 3
fumbles, 2 interceptions from the offense of Lynnwood. And that hurts you. That stings a bit. Here's Reinford into the smash at the 40-yard line. Corralled there. Aaron Reales right there from the linebacking side of things, along with Cody Stocker, make the stop for Lynnwood.
Keith, you got to think Coach John Gradwell is just going to keep Reinford in there now at running back. He's going to get upfield quickly, get past the line of scrimmage, and then lower his shoulder to pick up those extra yards. Whereas Chance Justice is more of a speed back. He's just an absolute bruiser.
Here comes Reinford now. He'll pick up the first down around the 45-yard line after a stiff arm. And he wants some more. He's taking the ball right back into the pile. He wants to go again.
Just showing his true grit out there being a runner. He has enough speed to get to the outside, but he's not afraid to turn around and stiff arm you and knock you down to the turf. And then right when that happens, look up to see your next buddy and try to lower his shoulder. He's able to do that, and he picked up a first down. But just a fun runner to watch.
I don't think they're buddy-buddy right now after seeing that stiff arm at the 45-yard line. 2:03 to go, third quarter. With the ball on the 49. Morales steps under center, takes the snap now. He'll hand off once again to Reinford. Gets a nice block on the interior, and again, some smashing of helmets at the 40-yard line. That time, Bobby Graham came up from the safety spot and helped make the stop, but I bet he's feeling it right now walking back into the huddle.
Yeah, and Reinford doesn't even look tired at all. With this fast-paced offense the Warriors have, you're just going to make that defense even more tired, picking up bigger chunks of yards, especially like this one right now.
Once again, handing the ball off, good enough for a first down, and you're going to get a steady dose right now of the E-Dub medicine known as Tyler Reinford.
As he comes off quickly for a nice little break. Now we're going to have Chance Justice. If you're the Lynnwood linebackers and defense in general, you got to be aware of who's in that backfield for Edmonds Woodway because they're going to continually run it. Now you don't have a guy who's necessarily the biggest bruiser like Reinford. He's got enough speed just to run right around you, though, and extend it for a big play.
Down to a minute to play here, third quarter. Edmonds Woodway with the lead in the ball, 21-6 over the Royals. In a game they need badly in order to get back into the Wesco 3A standings. There's a pass to Nash. Pops in and out of his hands right off the chest protector. Right off the pads. And almost up in the air high enough to allow the Royals to drift on underneath it. Carson Horner was in on the coverage, along with Richard Trong. Another catch you've got to make.
And Nash is usually one of those guys who mainly is on the near side of the field, does those hitches or quick slants, and he's usually going to come up with the football if it's near him. So that's one that's not really a characteristic of his game, but he's lucky it didn't go up in the air for an interception.
To the fullback, Venema has some room to run to the 20-yard line. They gave Venema the football, and the fullback wastes no time in scampering through into the secondary, and that's who had to bring him down. A pickup of 20 yards and a first down. Just under 20 yards, 18. Ball's on the 19-yard line. They give it back to Justice, stopped in the backfield and bulldog down there. It was Harris Katuk who got him again.
And Tanakarako, the left tackle, knew that was his fault. You had the defender just sprinting upfield, and he kind of just shoved him thinking the runner had already gotten past him and gone to the line of scrimmage. Not necessarily the case. He was still in the backfield, leaving a wide open tackle and a loss of 3.
Reinford back into the game now.
I don't think they're going to get another playoff, Keith.
And that will do it. They'll walk off 5-4-3. Hear the student body yelling down the numbers as the quarter comes to the end. And 3 are in the books. 1 remain, 21-6. Edmonds Woodway over Lynnwood. You're watching the Sound Live Sports Network presented by Shoreline Community College. We'll be right back.
Are you a whiz in filmmaking? Do you want to become extraordinary in filmmaking? Then come to Shoreline Community College and work with Shoreline Productions, where you will learn to transform your work in teams of working professionals and students to create enchanting effects such as green screen, text animation, and so much more. So come to Shoreline Community College, where you can mystify and dazzle in filmmaking.
Edmonds Woodway with the lead, not a commanding lead like we're used to between these two teams. Usually Edmonds Woodway historically has come out and put a real hurt on Lynnwood. Lynnwood, pretty good football team this year, Stephen.
They are. They've done a great job these last couple games. 3-1 overall record. And you said Woodway doesn't have that big of a margin right now, only up 15, but the way that this game is being played out with all the penalties and especially turnovers that Lynnwood is just giving the ball back to Edmonds Woodway, that's going to be enough to possibly put this game away, especially with them within striking distance here to start off the fourth quarter.
Edmonds Woodway is threatening, and you get the sense that another touchdown by the Warriors perhaps would be enough. And now they'll hand the ball off to Justice. Justice gets by the first group of down linemen into the 20-yard line, just inside the red zone. They'll mark it a foot or two inside the 20. Justice has had his success right there. Has a 5-yard TD run so far today, and then turned around in the same quarter a couple of drives later. And not quite a red zone touchdown, but how about 80 yards?
Well, and he's actually had another one too, but they called it back due to a penalty, I believe, kind of early on in there in the second quarter. So he's had a lot of success, and so is Nick Venema. And let's see if they give it to the fullback right here, Tyler Reinford.
Reinford gets the block. The ball is dropped on the turf, and it is still on the ground, and now Lynnwood will get it back. So another fumble. This time Edmonds Woodway loses the ball. And I didn't see who the Royal was that got in there.
Well, I think it was just on the handoff between Nick Morales and Chance Justice. I think that's what put the ball on the turf. Just didn't quite stick it in there in the gut.
So to start the fourth quarter here, Edmonds Woodway with the turnover. In the third quarter went a little something like this. Edub punt, Lynnwood punt, Edmonds Woodway fumble, Lynnwood fumble. Edmonds Woodway on downs, and then a Lynnwood fumble. And now Edmonds Woodway answers with a fumble. How about high school football? As great a games as we've seen out of these Edmonds Woodway team in the last couple, with the overtime loss to Meadowdale in a game they easily could have won. And then a game against the Terrace Hawks where they also had their opportunities in a really fine ball game, 35-28 the final in that one. Come down here in the last half of football and not quite what the coaching staff drew up at halftime. I can bet you that.
No, and not very often do you have this many turnovers and still win a football game. But when the other team is doing the exact same thing, it makes for a nice night.
Spencer Schultz in on the blitz, rolls out to his left as Cachopo picks up a yard maybe before he's run out of bounds. But that backside pressure brings up third down.
Great job by Spencer Schultz to get back there and flush out that quarterback. Cachopo had to go out to the far side of the field, his right, and pick up what he could because that linebacker, the junior, was bearing down on him quickly.
So Cachopo on third down now comes up in the shotgun formation with three wideouts. Pretty familiar formation for the Royals. And the blitz is on. Tipped, almost picked, and that could almost been a PI, and it is. And that will go against Lynnwood as Trong had to come back and play defender in order to keep that one from being intercepted.
Exactly, Keith. It looked like Cachopo was sold right from the time that he got the snap back to him that he was going to go to the far side of the field on Truong, who had just a slant about 10 yards downfield is when he cut it on the break. There was two Warriors right there. They had the safety and then the corner running along with him, and that's the best thing that could have happened for Lynnwood is the penalty and the pass interference for them to pick up a first down.
Well, they did give it to – they gave the penalty to Lynnwood. That's interesting. Not quite what I saw. Doesn't mean I'm right, which most of the time I'm not. First down and 10 now. They hand the ball to Hammond. 2 yards and the pickup. And Lynnwood has just got to be very careful not to give the ball right back. 6 turnovers so far today. And I imagine had you given head coach for Lynnwood, Keontae Bankhead, you spotted him 2 turnovers. You say in this ball game, Edmonds Woodway is going to give you the ball twice. He's going to like his chances.
Well, he's going to have a positive mindset going into the game. The only kicker is that you're going to give them the ball back
6 times.
So, yeah, pick your poison on that one, Coach.
And in the carry now, they say it was the ball was down. Was he down on the ground? He was. Ball carrier was down before Edmonds Woodway picked it up and ran. Still 3rd down.
But you just look at all this clock being wasted right now, Keith. With Lynnwood having the ball, they're a running football team. Cochopo can throw it downfield, but he's mainly going to look at Richard Truong. But if they can start doing some sort of a screen to try to get a pass and then get you guys downfield, especially those linemen getting up to the second and then the second level and then to the third level of the secondary, try to get a big play opportunity going. But with these running plays, you're just wasting clock.
9:01 to go now. Timeout on the field. We'll take one ourselves. Edmonds Woodway with the lead, 21-6, 4th quarter. 9:01 remaining on the Sound Live Sports Network. Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com. Timeout taken by Lynnwood, but the clock not their friend right now.
No, in the time that their running back got tackled down there and then they tried to get everything reset, they ran about 37 seconds off the clock, Keith, and that's why they had to call the timeout, just to kind of get everybody back on the same page and try to, their coach, Keontae Bankhead, probably saying, hey, let's get some urgency in there and get to the line of scrimmage and get set and run a play.
You don't need a delay of game penalty either. Here is Cochopo back to pass, flushed out of the pocket. He'll have to take off on the run. Now he'll retreat, picks up 2. Great pursuit by Edmonds Woodway. Ali Gay got there first for Edmonds Woodway.
I like the way that Ali Gay has played in this football game too. The right side defensive end, excellent job of getting upfield and getting pressure on Cochopo and trying to get him to either extend the play out to the side and get out of the pocket or stepping up. But he's had to run every single time and gotten big hits because Ali Gay has gotten downfield and putting pressure on him.
Horner will punt it away for the Royals after the Royals get the required number of men on the field. And Edmonds Woodway has only Nash back to receive. Bobbled punt. Gay in on the pursuit there, and now Nash will pick it up. Has some running room now. He's a speedster out to the 20-yard line. Cuts it back up past the 30. 2 penalty flags fly. And you can bet those are blocks in the back or illegal blocks of some sort.
Or holding.
And you'll probably have Edmonds Woodway marching backwards a little bit. I'd like to take the time out to remind you that Red Onion Burgers has their game special on sirloin. Nice, big, juicy sirloin steak, baked potato salad, all for $9.97. Ask for the game special. And you can bet you can get the Steve Willits chocolate shake that he's always talking about. Probably doesn't come included, but that's something you're going to want to investigate.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
The chocolate shake. 7:48 to go here under the lights in game number 1 of a doubleheader on the Sound Live Sports Network. Edmonds Woodway with the lead, 21-6. And they'll get the ball back after we unfold the penalties as they're still trying to figure out exactly what was happening on that far sideline. The later game, also a homecoming affair with the Meadowdale Mavericks as they host the Thunderbirds from Shorewood. Meadowdale leading the league right now after getting past Glacier Peak. Those two teams always seem to vie for the top spot in the Wesco South Division. And after the penalty, Edmonds Woodway turns tail and walks back to the goal line. So this is a big one.
And for that next game, Keith, if you want to see two great running backs, Rory Spillum and Malik Braxton of Meadowdale, those guys can have the speed to get out or run right through the offensive line and then have enough power to run you over as well to extend a play and pick up those extra yards. Two fun guys to watch in a backfield that's very explosive.
7:48 on the field. We still got a stop clock trying to unravel things. Edmonds Woodway is on the road. The next couple of ball games at Shoreline Stadium, facing Shorecrest in the October 10th affair, and then Shorewood a week later in the same place. And then they will come back here to Edmonds District Stadium to play the Grizzlies, and perhaps their toughest opponent remaining on the schedule after this one. There's the handoff straight ahead, gets some distance between the goal line and the line of scrimmage, the ball carrier.
The other best positive, Keith, with this drive, if they don't score, is bringing that clock all the way down to about, if they can, there's 7:25 left in the fourth, maybe about 3:30, maybe 3 minutes left in the ball game. Lynnwood is going to have to run the football, so they'll drain the clock down as well, but Warriors need to hold on to it and do a massive time of possession change right here and just bring it all the way down to about 3 minutes.
There's the handoff again, up near the first down marker. Reinford on the carry. And they're just going to keep it up. You know what you're getting if you're the Lynnwood defense at this point in time with only 7 minutes on the clock.
Got to be able to blitz those linebackers, fill in those B gaps, which is right in between the guards and the tackles on both sides of the line of scrimmage. Fly right there, have those defensive tackles pinch down and try to block up those gaps. But then if they extend it to the outside, have enough flow to be able to get there and make stops too.
Clock continues to spin, 6:40 to go, and we've got motion on the Edmonds Woodway side of the ball, and that will back things up on first down to back to the 14-yard line after the 5-yard markup. So Edmonds Woodway keeps the ball, but certainly hasn't been one to write home about, at least as far as the second half is concerned.
Penalties and turnovers are the biggest blemish on a victory that is well rewarded.
And now the ball carrier once again, Tyler Reinford, breaks 2 tackles, but only able to get 3 yards out of it. 1.5 yards per broken tackle, but he'll take it. It could easily have been a stop for no gain. And the clock continues to move.
And they're looking at a 2nd and 11 right here, Keith. And if they're able to pick up the first down on these next 2 plays with that false start, it's actually going to play perfectly into their hands because they hold on to the football for that much longer.
Nash and Gradwell on the far side. And now the handoff will go to Justice. Past the 30-yard line and down to the 40. Well, that is Reinford. Reinford on the carry out of the backfield. And you talk about him being a bruising back. That time he showed a little quickness. Showed a little chance justice.
And he was shifty right when that defender was about to bring him down. He's able to kind of cut to the near side to the outside and then extend it right back into the middle. He got tripped up or else he'd still be running right now, but a great play and a great run by Tyler Reinford to pick up the first down on a 2nd and 11.
5:22 to go in the ball game. Handoff once again. Guess who? Tyler Reinford, this time stuffed 4 yards in. Caught up around the ankles. And I can't tell the Royal that drug him down. Did a good job of hanging on.
Let's see if
I believe that was Kirkman that made the stop.
See if Coach John Gradwell maybe brings up a play right here for Nick Venema. Got a little bit more speed than Reinford, and he's got that different element that might surprise the defense for a big play.
Venema, of course, the fullback, right behind Morales. And now on 2nd down and 5 yards to go. They'll hand the ball off to Reinford. Gets around the edge, has some running room, but can't elude Trong, the tackler. But picks up 5 yards. Did he get the first down? They'll mark him a yard short. 3rd down and inches.
Nick Venema didn't get the ball right there, but right when he came through that line of scrimmage, he went up to the linebacker, number 56, Cody Stalker, who was the middle linebacker near side of the field, blocked him and then turned his body, which gave Reinford the running angle to go right off his butt on the right side, which would extended the play, and now they're going to have a measurement to see if he picked up the first down. But Nick Venema didn't get the football, but he gave the block for his runner to extend it out to the right and pick up a first down.
Edmonds Woodway does pick up the first down. Tyler Reinford chewing things up and keeping this clock and this drive moving. Both important as can be. 4:18 to go now. Nick Morales hands the ball off. It looked like Venema might have had it that time. And he's tackled for in the pile he goes. 3-yard pickup for Venema on the carry. That time he got his due.
And not a bad pickup. He picked up 2 yards, but most importantly, Woodway's had the ball for about 3 minutes now in this drive, and they're continually wasting the clock. And on a 2nd and 8, look for now the ball to go to Chance Justice, maybe extend it to the outside or continually go right up the middle in the teeth of that Lynnwood defense.
3:31 and counting as Morales takes his time and hands the ball off to Justice. Gets past the line of scrimmage, plus 2. 2-yard pickup. I'd like to remind you that the Edmonds Woodway Athletic Booster Club supporting Warrior Athletics through private fundraising. You can donate on their webpage today. EdmondsWoodwayABC.com is the Edmonds Woodway Athletic Booster Club. Make sure you visit them. Homecoming tonight for the Warriors, and they're doing an outstanding job at keeping the lead right where it is, 21-6. Not much has happened since halftime. And now another penalty flag has a false start once again on Edmonds Woodway.
Warriors are going to escape here with a 15-point victory, but they, looking ahead just the next week against Shorecrest, they got to be able to kind of sure things up, especially with the penalties and putting the ball in the turf or throwing an interception, because that's the biggest thing that they're going to come away with this game. They got the positive with the W, but there's a bigger negative out there with all these penalties and turnovers.
2:28 to go, 3rd down and 10 yards remaining as Morales now rolls out to his right. Has some daylight, tucks the ball under, gets past the 45-yard line. Now they say he goes out of bounds at the 46, so it'll be 4th down and about 4 yards to go.
Great run by the quarterback. And quarterbacks typically don't like to get hit, Keith, but in that instance, you don't want to go out of bounds. Just kind of take the hit and keep that clock running. But it looks as though it's still going to be a 4th and 4.
4th and 4. 2:16 to go. So even should Lynnwood get it back here at the 46 on downs, they'll have to turn around and score twice in short order. Not impossible. Not plausible. And now the hard count attempt. And Morales will turn around and issue a different count on 4th down. And will fumble the football, and they will get it back. Lynnwood will get the ball back on downs. Neither team having a real good second half at this point.
No, but Keith, we talked about right before Edmonds Woodway got that last drive that just ended on turnover on downs. If they're able to get the football, and I said 3 minutes or less, well, there's 2:12 left on this change of possession. That should put the game enough too far in reach for Lynnwood, unless they get one of those big plays starting out this drive. But if it has to be within 3 plays, or else this game is done.
4 fumbles, 2 punts, and 2 turnovers on downs here in the half between these two teams. So nobody really able to put anything together. They hand the ball off. This time goes to Duplessis. Duplessis gets across the 50, not quite the 50, up near midfield. A 3-yard gain, but the clock continues to turn.
And Keith, we're going to sound like broken records, but Lynnwood's offense is based upon running the football, and they're in a bit of a predicament right now because they can't throw the football downfield because the secondary and linebackers for Edmonds Woodway has done a great job thus far in this game. The only chance that they have is running the football, but that's going against you because the clock continually runs.
And it's at 1:30 right now. Cachopo not in any hurry. And now they'll throw the football on the far side, overthrowing Jungmann, the intended receiver. And it brings up 3rd down, but does stop the clock. Lynnwood does have 2 timeouts. They can stop the clock twice. Edmonds Woodway has all 3 of theirs, but not likely to use them at this point.
And Keith, correct me if I'm wrong, but the last 2 times that we've seen Cachopo throw the football, besides that incompletion, he threw 2 interceptions. I think that was the last time that they threw the ball with how quick that 3rd quarter went, and the fact that the last 2 attempts by your senior quarterback were interceptions going the other way for the defense. They just didn't have as much trust in him to be smart with the football and put it in a way that either your receiver's going to catch it or it's going to fall incomplete.
We've got a timeout on the field. Lynnwood takes one of their remaining. We'll also take a timeout here on the Sound Live Sports Network. Edmonds Woodway 21, Lynnwood 6.
Welcome to Northwest Best, brought to you by Smart Service Subaru. Here's your host, Mike Halsey.
We're back at the Red Onion in Mountlake Terrace, and I'm with the owner, Sean, and the food here is absolutely terrific. The burgers are made with 100% beef, made to order with fresh ingredients. And you're involved in a lot of community projects.
Yes, Mike, we are. With the help of our loyal customers, we're able to give back to our community. Such as we take 100 kids shopping with cops and join us for our terrific Tuesday fundraisers. Join us
at Red Onion Burger.
And thank you for watching.
3rd down and 7 with the ball at the 50-yard line as Cachopo back to pass now, has some pressure, caught, and the ball comes loose. And it was Ollie Gay that got through the line and made the hit. Gay only a sophomore, but 6'4", 210 came off of that line and made a pop on Cachopo. It makes it 4th down. They say incomplete pass.
And that was the first time in this entire game, he didn't just do the rip move and try to lean into the tackle, try to drive him upfield and towards his quarterback. Off the line of scrimmage, he immediately just did a quick swim move, leaving the left tackle right behind him in his dust, and that's what he got to Cachopo. It looked like it could have been a fumble, and the ref blew the whistle a little early, but now 4th and 7 for Lynnwood.
Ollie, a big guy for a sophomore coming off that DN. It makes a nice swim move, gets in, makes another tackle right there at the 50. Gets a tackle credited for a tackle for loss, and that young man's got a future.
Yeah, only a sophomore. With his size and athleticism, he's going to continually get stronger and quicker, which is going to make him even more tougher coming out of that defensive end position, going against that tackle. And if your team's looking forward to these next couple weeks in Shorecrest, Shorewood, and then the big one at the end against Glacier Peak, you got to look out for where Allie Gay is.
Lynnwood has a chance to regroup against Meadowdale. How's that for a regrouping? They'll be right here at Edmonds District Stadium a week from tonight, October 10th. They get to play the remaining games at home, even when they're on the road, against Mountlake Terrace. And now victory position. And into the kneel goes Morales, and that will issue another 30 seconds off the clock, although Lynnwood will call one remaining timeout. So after you get by Edmonds Woodway and take the defeat tonight, if you're Lynnwood, you have to face Meadowdale, the league. And then Mountlake Terrace, your rival, who's also playing very, very good football right now, before you finally get to Shorewood on the 24th. So you got to run the gauntlet if you're Lynnwood right now.
Yeah, you got to go, and if you all stay tuned for the next game, you're going to see Meadowdale and just how balanced of an attack they have on offense and on defense. They're really stout, especially the defensive end. I think is Marsh out there, number 99. He's an absolute freak, kind of an alley guy kind of player. He's quick off the line of scrimmage, and he makes a quick move on the tackle and disrupts things in the backfield. So it's going to be a tough road for Lynnwood. Can they certainly do it? Yes, it's going to be difficult, but you just have to take 1 week at a time and bounce back from this loss against Edmonds Woodway.
Lynnwood already bettering their season from a year ago. Having 3 wins, only getting 1 at the end of the season last year before the crossover games. And now Edmonds Woodway will go back into second down and just kneel the ball around Morales. And that will be 30 seconds off the clock. Edmonds Woodway will probably give the ball back to Lynnwood with about 4 or 5 seconds.
Since junior football, and he's always been a good running back. He's a big physical kid, runs hard. Sucks that he got injured tonight, but it was good. I mean, I love a hard physical game. It's always great. I love it.
Our Red Onion Burger player of the game is standing right in front of us, Tyler Reinford. An outstanding job, and this year, of course, we've got the T-shirt. So let's get a picture with our Red Onion Burger player of the game after an outstanding victory tonight over the Lynnwood Royals, 21-6, the final. And Tyler, any final thoughts? How's it feel to go back into the locker room and winning?
I love it. Love to enjoy this with my teammates. Go Warriors, that's all I can say. Can't wait for next week. Going to come out just as hard for all you guys.
All right, Tyler Reinford, thank you very much. Our Red Onion Burger player of the game. And again, the final 21-6. And it all came by way of the ground game for the most part for Edmonds Woodway.
Yeah, a lot of Nick Venema, as we just saw Tyler Reinford, and also Chance Justice just running the football. Offensive lineman did probably the best game of the year, blocking for the quarterback and also getting downfield to those linebackers in secondary, putting their offense in that sort of position for those running backs to score.
It doesn't get any easier for Lynnwood. They dropped into 3-2 on the season, and they have to face lead leading Meadowdale a week from tonight.
Sure things up, not get as many turnovers next week, and kind of work on those penalties. If they are able to be disciplined next week, they'll have a fighting chance against a very good Meadowdale Maverick football team.
So thanks again on the Red Onion Burger of Mountlake Terrace post-game show. Our Red Onion Burger player of the game, Tyler Reinfern. And for now, we'll say goodnight. It is 21-6, the final here at Edmonds District Stadium. Stick around for the second game of the doubleheader. That is Meadowdale Mavericks will have their homecoming affair facing the Shorewood Thunderbirds. And Meadowdale on top, leading the league right now, 3-0 in league, and they are large and in charge. Should be a fun ball game.
Yes, sir, it will.
All right. Tyler Reinford, our player of the game once again. And for Keith Neely and Stephen McGrain, thanks to everybody along the crew. We got a whole mess of students that help run this thing, and Angela Como and Teresa Whipple, our director and producer, respectively. Thanks very much for their time, and Steve Willits will have the call for the next game at 8 o'clock. You'll want to stick around. For now, that's the Sound Live Sports Network.